Action
Started.
started.
Back in action, man. Got our main man Alex coming at us from a fucking stressful situation. But from what I
So,
talked to you about and when you were talking to me about in Facebook the other week, man, I was really interested in, man. You were talking about how your body communicates with you or some shit like that, man. And I've been getting since I got back, I've been really getting into like health stuff and started doing like this detox thing. And one thing I've really been noticing and paying attention to is that, like for example, today, like one thing I'd heard from this uh, nutritionist advice, he's like, you should eat enough to fill you up, but you should still feel like you should be able to, go run a mile or whatever it is. Like that's the amount you should be eating. And so when I was eating lunch today, I was eating, and even though I had a big plate, I kind of was eating slow, chewing it and listening. Do I really need more food? Do I really need more food? And then I stopped and I went for a walk and all that stuff, and it felt amazing, man. Whereas other times, if you just overstuff yourself without listening to your body, like saying, "Oh, listen, man, I'm full, man," but you're insatiable, whatever hunger takes over, then you feel like shit. So I've been noticing that like this last week or two, that listening to your body or even what you want to eat, like if you really want to eat some fish or you want to eat vegetables, you probably need that. I don't know if that's along the same lines of what you were talking about, man, but
that's interesting. I think it was Buddha that said like eat till you're 80% full.
yeah,
Um, he said that like fucking like thousands of years ago now. But the idea behind that was that it takes some time for your body to tell you when it actually is full. So when you eat and then you're like, oh, I'm full right now. What's happened is like you're actually you've eaten more food than you've needed, and it's just taken more time for your body to like let you know you're full because of like the amount of time it takes for the body like for the food to like digest into the stomach. So I think that's pretty interesting that that awareness that you're bringing into your body now with how you do everything probably even I'd assume like move into other areas of your life as well because you're just being more conscious of like your body and how it works.
yeah, definitely, man. And the first time I really got kind of worried, that was when I started doing yoga, realizing that like if you're just aware of one area and your breath and all that, you can actually do things you usually couldn't do just by focusing on it and paying attention to it. Like you can stretch farther or do whatever type of weird tricks and stuff as well. But it really, if you're not totally attuned to it, you'll kind of be imbalanced.
Mm. I think I think there's a big like thing I guess in Western society at least where we like ignore our body and our feelings. Like we'll push through it. Like we're always told like you know, um, I don't know, just as a weird example, like when you're working out, like you hear this phrase sometimes, like you're not your body, so like push it harder, like you can go harder than you think you can. Like which is fine because you can go harder than you think you can, but what that's actually forcing is like this weird like mind body dichotomy where you're almost training yourself to think that your mind's separate from your body when they're actually all part of the same unit. Um, yeah, I forgot my point what I was saying, but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
So what was the
One
what was
thing
the
though,
name of the book that you read on that?
Yeah, so hang on, let me see if I can get it out for you. You guys chat for a second. It's got some interesting quotes in there we could probably have a look at.
one thing about pushing the body and all this, it shouldn't be in pain, but like let's say you're trying to upper your cardio or something, or your strength, or let's take cardio. My conditioning coach always said, you'll pass out before you know, your body will just automatically pass the fuck out if it's taking in too much or start puking or something. It has these defense mechanisms to make sure that you're not pushing above any dangerous limits. So I don't think it's anything wrong with pushing your body from time to time. You shouldn't do it all the time, but it's not that bad to push your body every once in a while,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think.
it's kind of interesting, man, because a lot of things that are coming out now, a lot of studies showing like people who do like long distance cardio for a lot of their life have like when they get older have serious health problems not necessarily because they, I mean, I guess it is they overdo their body, but people are meant to run 20 miles a day for their entire life. You know, your knees get fucked up, you know, all these things happen, man. So I guess the thing is that you got to be aware of that going on, man. If your knees fucked up, don't keep running 20 miles a day. You know, it's that awareness of where it's at, and your body can go, but you have to be aware of the different parts because you could be, you know, lifting really hard and you want to be a bodybuilder, but if you accidentally lift too much and keep pushing too hard and blow out your kneecap, it's all over, man. So
Exactly,
it's that
man.
awareness of your entire body, you know, especially specific parts, and if you're not taking care of them,
It's like there's a reason why we have pain. It's a good thing, man. Even depression and shit. Well, let's take the physical now. So, pain is an indicator of something being wrong. You know, it's like either you're indicated of like, okay, you need more fucking muscles here, or it's like if you used it too much, don't use it the next day. If you're sore as shit, you're not supposed to use that arm the same way you just did, man, because it needs to relax. And a lot of bodybuilders and people into strength and stuff, like a lot of shoulders get fucked up, for example. And when they have pain in their shoulder, they just keep on working out because they got to keep building and all that shit. And then over time, it's going to blow out. And in the long run, that's going to, set you back, as opposed to actually make you improve if that's what you want. So, yeah, absolutely listen to your body. I'm just saying from time to time, you know,
don't be
don't
a
be a
bitch.
pussy. Yeah.
That's true,
Yeah,
man.
I think it's definitely important, like, to push yourself and push yourself really hard. Um, and I like physically, like when you're working out anyway, it's good to do that as long as you do follow it up with that sub rest and recovery exercise. So if you're smashing it in the gym, it's just as important for you to be smashing it just as hard doing your stretching or your yoga or like your deep breathing to help the body recover. Because if you don't let your body recover and like let's say you're smashing it like 3 times a week and you're not doing any stretching or anything, eventually all your muscles like they just keep breaking down. They have no time to recover. Everything's really tight and sore, and that's when the injuries occur because you're using your body so much without giving it a chance to rejuvenate and actually allow you to become stronger to then break yourself down again.
Rest time, man. That's a big part of it. Sleeping, eating,
Hmm.
chilling the fuck out. Yeah, everybody who really knows their shit knows that for sure. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think it like just take bodybuilding for example. I think it's like one third building or training, one third eating properly, and one third relaxing. It's like equally important, all three of those.
Yeah, it totally is. So, um, well, that's the thing. Like, working out's just giving you the like like it's breaking down the muscles, but then there's no point in doing that if you're not eating enough. So like for example, this year like I've been working out up to like 2 times a day, like 5 times a week sort of thing, which is pretty intense. But I also found that I wasn't eating enough to support that. So I was training with a friend who started at the same time as me, doing the same workouts as me, and he got a lot bigger, a lot quicker than me. And the difference was that because he was eating properly and I was under eating, I was essentially like wasting all that time working out because I wasn't nourishing my body enough to rebuild the muscle that I needed. Whereas my friend who was and was eating properly was getting a lot more gains for the amount of work he was putting in.
But you know what, man? That's the only way you learn, man. Through failure,
Yeah, and
failing.
I think also like your general body composition comes, you know, more from what you eat than from, you know, what how much you work out. Like I think the diet, for whatever, I mean, yeah, you could work out as much as you want. If you don't have the right protein and all that, it's really not going to do that much. But I think if you eat, you know, exactly right and only work out once or twice a week, you'll probably get better results than working out 5 days a week with the shitty diet. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, man, you know, working out is hard sometimes, and that's the intense part. But I think for most people, the diet is actually the real challenge. Going for
Yeah,
an hour and working out is hard for an hour, but the diet is 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 7 days a week. So,
it's not even that, man. It's all the time because it's not only when you decide to eat something that's good for you, but it's also the times you decline the bad stuff for you. Like you use some of your willpower to say, fuck that cheeseburger, dog. I ain't drinking that beer and all that type of shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't
Mm,
forget that.
yeah.
True.
So I've been reading this book as I was just talking to Nick briefly about on Facebook, very excitedly, and then he's just like, "Look, man, I gotta go, but maybe we should talk about this later."
Yeah, I got
Um,
10 minutes a day on Facebook. I got an app that limits it. So if
uh,
I'm on there, man, and someone sends me a message, I gotta make that shit quick because I'm only got a couple minutes.
yeah, so timed it so quick, and like, "Hey, man, here's the revelation. 10 minutes, let's do it."
Yeah, I'm like,
Um,
fuck.
yeah, so I'm reading this book, and it's called The Voice of the Body, by this psychotherapist called Alexander Lowen, and basically he's been treating people with a combination of like psychotherapeutic analysis. So that's like delving into like the issues that you have from like when you're growing up as a child, but combined with like a physical component, which would be often like some sort of like stretch or exercise to correspond with the analytic view, in order to help you recover faster, or not only that, but like enjoy life more fully. So the basic premise being that like the mind and body aren't separate things; they're part of the same organism, and they're connected, via the spine. Um,
What's the name of the book?
the voice of the body,
Yeah,
and
go.
it's so interesting. So basically, it starts out by characterizing humanity's progression in society via illness. Um, and so, for example, in like the 2000s, like it's almost like I think it's like 1980s up to now, the like most prevalent disease that's killing humans is cancer. But that wasn't
Yeah,
always the case in like previous decades, and I can't remember exactly anymore. Different diseases dominated and was the primary cause in wiping out humans, and he sort of links that to the psychological like mindset and beliefs of the time as to how it's led to those diseases being um, I guess more able to infect and make us as people sick. And he says cancer is a lot related to the stress that we feel in everyday life because we're living in such this like hyper fast reality right now, and where we value hard work and we don't value like rest as much as we should. That's a contributing factor as to why that's one of the most dominant illnesses in society today, in Western society.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think in the future, man, a lot more studies are gonna come out about how stress really kills your health, man. I mean, it wasn't my grandpa, but one of my grandmas remarried, and she's Italian, and he's Italian, and he's from Sicily, and this guy, he smoked till he was like 70, ate Italian food, pasta, all this stuff. He lived to be like 98 years old and never got any serious problems. Like, until the day he died, he didn't have Alzheimer's. He was still there, and he just didn't really work that hard, man. He just had an easy kind of going life. Had a little garden where he made herbs and stuff there. He never had no crazy job, and he always told me like, don't be a doctor, don't be a lawyer, be a teacher, because you got like all this time off and shit. I think
hmm,
there's something to it, man. Like, he smoked most of his life. He, ate a lot of pasta, drank 5 cups of coffee a day for
hmm.
his entire life also. And he lived to be 98, but it's that, I think it was all, a lot of that low stress going on.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so
man. It's
interesting.
there's I think there's so many factors to health stuff, health related stuff. It's like there's no if there was to be one diet that was the perfect diet, everybody would know about it. But it's not a perfect diet. It's a combination of things. Some people or some bodies use that type of stuff, and there's psychological aspects of it. It's your happiness, your stress levels, your friends and family. You need a community, and you need to, there's so many factors in there. It's not just how much you work out, you do yoga, you eat. Yeah, those are important factors, but I think it's really complicated actually, the whole being healthy and stuff. And at the same time, it's probably simple, eat some good stuff, work out, have good friends and families, have a good, just live as humanly as possible. What's possible in this society. What are we meant to be doing? What is the human designed to do? And how can we do that in this society today? Because that's what we got to work with. So that's what we're working with.
I think that leads to a very like interesting thought I had in that, like, you're right, there's so many factors that are involved in, like, being healthy or living a long life. And there's no way like our brains could possibly fathom or calculate every possible thing to do for like an optimum health. It's just not possible. But yet, we've been able to do this since, like, we were cavemen and stuff like that. And I love, this actually ties back to what I was reading in the book when I was talking to Nick about before, was that most of our living like a good life can be, well, he sort of asserts this can be done by listening to our feelings. So like our intuition, like we almost, you don't really need like that high thinking ability that we have to live a good life, because it's because, so I find it hard to like verbalize this, but basically because we have this like intuition and feeling, like what you feel like would make you happy. For example, like you might be feeling restless and go, oh, I feel like I want to work out, or you feel like you're hungry, or you want to eat. Like all of these things happen without us having to, like, without this higher thinking engaged. And I think it's because our feelings have already kind of worked out. The intuition is almost like a higher intelligence that sort of can help guide us towards doing the things that would naturally make us happy. Like no one wants to be constantly under stress, like 8 hours a day from their work. That's not a natural thing, but we do want to put ourselves under stress every now and then. Like when we're working out and pushing ourselves hard, like it's a natural thing to exert ourselves, and we have that feeling towards doing that as well.
Yeah, but if you look at an animal in a healthy environment, that's a healthy animal. It eats what it, because animals, they don't have free will. They can't just eat a cheeseburger, which is bad for them. For example, we have free will. We can eat whatever the fuck we want. If I want to eat rocks, I can eat rocks. Well, that's a bad example, but
sounds like Freddie's childhood, man.
No wonder you got all those compound bows, buddy.
explains a lot, man. Yeah, but yeah, we can, on a feeling level, we feel like we're hungry, but we can always choose, instead of having that healthy fish, we could eat some fucking candy. We have that free will and possibility to eat a lot of bad shit. So, in a way, that is kind of hurting us. And if you heard about a pretty interesting book called Salt, Sugar, Fat, it's about how the big corporations like McDonald's use that stuff against us. Because back in the day, we would find honey maybe once a month, and then we would eat all we could of that, because we'll only find that once a month. Salt, you don't find salt in everything, so when you get it, you eat a lot. And fats, most animals don't contain that much fat if they're out in the wild. So if you get fat, you eat a lot of it. And now that we have that at our hands and our feet every time, we always crave it. Because back in the day, we didn't used to have an abundance of it. So now, because we have that abundance, it's fucking us over.
Yeah, I think
makes sense.
I think it's interesting as well, because a lot of people do make the choice to, like, eat the candy bar instead of being healthy. I think there's an interesting thing is that if you look, like, as like all the people holistically in the world, like you've pretty much got someone who's made every variety of choices there are possible. You've got the kind of people that will always choose the candy bar and get fucking huge, and you got the kind of people that would never touch a candy bar and like are really fit and like stay really fit all the time. And it really comes down to the day-to-day choices that we're making. Um, I think like an interesting quote I was reading The Miracle Morning the other day. Have you guys read that?
No.
No, it's basically uh, how to wake up like it's Christmas morning every morning sort of thing. That's what it promises. But a really, really interesting quote that came from that was that always remember that who you're becoming is far more important than what you're doing. And yet it's what you're doing that's determining who you're becoming. And so it's sort of what I think that's sort of saying is like, it's it's not like the thing that you're going it's not the thing that you're going towards, like the goal that's important. It's who you're becoming as you go to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And like the kind of characteristics that you have to envelop in order to achieve the goal that you want. And that comes down to the choices that you make day by day, which is what you're doing is determining what you're becoming.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah, man,
perfect
it's
sense.
so opposite of what most people think too. They're like, I'm gonna do anything to get this, but that's kind of a flawed method, because that can lead you to make bad decisions that make you a worse person, which is really what the goal is. People are like, I want to make $1 million, but it's really, what you learn along the way to making that's and who you become. But you could also make the wrong choices on that road too, that actually make you a less nice person, and a more of a mean person that only cares about yourself. So yeah, I don't even know why that paradigm is how it is. But yeah, just the value of something or getting something, is more important than the value of who you are as a person in a lot of our
Mm.
cultures, which is kind of fucking backwards.
Dude, I might be a bit of a cop out, but do you reckon it's just easy just to blame like that marketing and media, like people trying to get you to buy stuff, like, buy this and then you'll be happy. And so people go, oh, it doesn't matter, like, about going through the process. I just need to like get this thing and my life is fixed. Or if it's like
You
more
know,
perverse in our culture, like for something else.
I
I
don't
think
really think, or go ahead, Nick.
I think it starts just really young, like human beings when there's this really big need we have to fit in. So that's just part of being human. You have to fit in with your social environment because that's how you would survive before. But even growing up from a young age, it's like, all you see in your experience in life is that's what people value. If that's what you're seeing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old all the way up, it's not just something that a marketing message gets into you. It's something that's like culturally ingrained into you from a young age. And if you look at like, hunter-gatherer tribes, they don't have that because they're not part of that society. So I would say, yeah, I think the marketing's part of it, but it goes deeper than that, man. Just to, that's what you see growing up as a kid, and that's the stuff that really sticks with you, is stuff you learn at a really young age.
Yeah. Well, I don't think, I don't think there's anybody sitting on top planning out shit on how to make, you know, I don't think there's an evil group of people trying to get you to buy bad stuff or trying to get you to spend all your money. It's just like, if I got a business and I'm selling something, I might just be in it for the money. Probably I am. And even though it's good or bad, I just want to make money. So I don't really give a fuck whether you spend your money wasting it. So as long as I get mine. And, they're gonna try and use every strategy they have to make money. That's, human nature in or in business, I guess. Yes. And it's not, you know, you just gotta be kind of awake for all this shit. Like, when I look at things now, like TV, commercials and all that shit, or no matter what it is. If someone's, I always look and try and figure out if someone's trying to sell me something. Not that it's bad to be selling something, but just be aware, are you buying some bullshit right now, or what is it you're actually buying? Is this chocolate bar gonna help me, my body, or whatever, or is it gonna give me some mouth pleasure? Yeah, it's gonna give me that mouth pleasure for couple of minutes maybe, and sometimes that's a good thing, but often it's not. So looking at the bigger picture and looking in the future and shit, like just being, I think, when we're talking about this, people who are listening are thinking about it. They're getting more aware, like, I can't eat this fucking bullshit right now, but is that really gonna help me? And, or is it gonna fucking cut down of the time in my life because my body stops functioning if I keep poisoning it, or whatever it might be, man. Food, stuff you think you need, but you don't really need it. All areas.
Yeah, I think it's important, like, when we're making, when you have to make like a, I guess you'd call it like a tough decision between, like, eating like junk food or being healthy. You've almost got like two competing drives going on. Like, you got that like initial, like, oh, I'm hungry and I really need some fast energy. I really feel like that chocolate bar. And then you sort of got that higher thinking where, like, the only way you can kind of like overpower this like short term, I want this now, is if you do think long term. Like, what happens if I eat this chocolate bar and I do that, like, every day, like this one chocolate bar every day for a few years? Well, I'm going to get fucking fat. Does that fit with the goals of what I want, with how I want to look in life? No? Okay,
Yeah,
well, maybe I won't
and,
have it.
and people might be thinking, oh, that's stupid, man. I can't eat this chocolate bar right today. And don't, it's not that bad. But the thing is, once you make that one decision, it has a chain reaction. Like if you like, for me, man, like if I'm on a diet, a strict diet, and you know me, dog, I'm a fucking fat man at heart. So if I make that one fucking mistake of eating something bad, that's gonna make me think later on, well, today I already had that fucking piece of cake, so, okay, I'll take the rest of the day off the diet. And
Mm-hmm.
then that happens. And then the next day, like, oh fuck, I already fucked up, man. I might find, my emotions or my willpower might not be that strong the next day for some fucking reason. And then, ooh-wee, the diet's out the door, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, and even one thing that I really found is like really helps with trying to do any of that is like, say you eat the chocolate bar, man. In general, you'll feel good maybe for when you eat it. You'll feel good for 30 minutes afterwards. But most people don't pay attention. But if you really do, after about 45 minutes afterward, you notice your energy drops. You feel sluggish. You feel like shit. And usually it's because you're eating bad food, man. And if you can really learn to associate in your brain eating that food with that bad feeling, you automatically won't want to do it. It's like the most basic type of conditioning. If you have like a dog and every time he bites someone, you hit him on the head, he's going to associate biting, or you shock him with his collars, he's going to associate biting with the pain. Humans aren't that much different, man. If you can associate in your head like this discomfort or this pain with doing something, you will automatically want to stop doing it. Like, I notice that too. Like, if I think about eating McDonald's, all I think about is how bad I'm gonna feel afterwards in my stomach, and that's it, man. End of the story, But it's that you can associate some discomfort with it, or pain or whatever it is, and it works the other way too, man. If you can associate pleasure with things, you'll automatically be motivated to do them.
Yeah, pain, pleasure, fucking. Anthony Robbins talks about that, and it's really fucking true. But with all this health stuff, what I can fucking say for sure about like my own experiences and all this, just like one thing that I'll say for sure, if wherever you're at, if you start right now, you put some goals down and you just keep hammering at them, you're gonna fail. You're gonna have fucking months where you are slipping as fuck. You're not paying attention to it, but if you always have it in the back of your head over a couple of years, you gotta stick in there. it's gonna work itself out because you'll learn stuff along the way. You learn how to motivate yourself and how to. So just no matter where you're at, just keep going at it for years. And after maybe 5 years, maybe 7 years, you'll be where you want to be, absolutely. But don't expect it to be happening over 2 months, because that's just stupid, man. It's not gonna happen over 2 months. Or, maybe you're a fucking superhuman, and I'm an idiot, and I'm lazy and all. But I think in the long term, and no matter how many mistakes you made in the past, well, you learn from that. Keep going on.
I think it's because of the mistakes that you actually go and achieve your goal in the end. Because think about, like, if you're setting out to achieve, goal X, and you've done everything in your power to get to goal X, and yet you've made this mistake. It actually wasn't possible for you to achieve goal X without you going through this mistake first and learning from it to become the kind of person that knows how to achieve goal X. Like, does that make sense? Like, you kind of have to fail your way through to success. There's no like A to B, like, like, hey, I'm here. I want, I don't know, to make 100 grand. Like, okay, let's do it. And you jump over here. It's like, you have to set the intention, work towards it every day, and realize, like, work out the path. And the only reason you work out the path is by fucking up, and then going, okay, well, that didn't work. I guess I need to do this instead. And, like, you kind of, like, zigzag your way around until you actually get there. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I felt with my business. Like, I was fucked around, like, every day as hard as I could for trying to get this business to work and just a tiny bit of income. And, like, just wasn't happening. I was fucking up, like, every fucking month something terrible was happening, or wasn't working out. I couldn't work out why. But 2 years of every day working towards that, and working out all the mistakes, I finally got to a place where it's like, hey, like, I'm now completely different person of who I was 2 years ago. So it started in terms of, like, all the habits, routines, all the things I've learned to get here. And that's I think I forgot what I was saying so early, man. But yeah, it's just basically, like, I think as well, like, Tony Robbins, what does he do? Like, when he does a seminar, he gets you to, like, imagine trying to achieve what you want, how good that'll feel, and then try to imagine what happens if you fuck up. What's the worst that could happen in your life if you made the wrong choices? And you have people, like, crying, and they're like, oh no, like, my life would be so terrible. Like, just creating powerful emotional links towards achieving your dreams, and or being, like, the lazy slob that you're afraid of being, that you don't want to be. So it's very, like, it's like Tim's vision board as well, like, that kind of, like looking at that and reminding yourself every day, no matter how hard it gets, like, that's what I'm heading towards. That excites me. And then maybe going to a shitty day job or doom or something like that, and being like fuck my life. Like, if I keep going down this path, I'm not going to be happy.
So that's basic motivation right there, huh? It's all emotional, At the end of the day, man, human beings are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
But Alex, man, if you gotta go, just let us know, man. I know you said you had the meeting in an hour. I don't want to pressure you to stay, man.
Yeah,
Just let us know.
that's cool. I got another 150 megabytes just to download, and then I got to hustle. So I've got another couple minutes.
So,
Yeah.
Alex, what else? How are you today, man? Are you feeling happy, or how's it going these days?
I'm going well, man. Very nervous about this presentation of the videos, because it's just been so long for doing that. But I don't know, man. Life's been fucking crazy for me. So I decided to become a professional athlete for CrossFit, for the CrossFit Games in 2016. And so I'm paying to do that, but I also got sponsored. So now I'm, like, a sponsored athlete, and the idea is to, like, be training every day. I have to eat super strict. I bought a whole bunch of new, like, nutritional, like, supplements and stuff like that I need to, like, take, and all of that. And on the first day of my training, about a month and a half ago or something like that, I had a skateboarding accident, and I tore a ligament in my knee, like, almost complete tear. And so I've been rehabbing that knee like a motherfucker to get back into this. And so, like, the last few days, I've been able to walk like a normal person and like start doing light weights again to build that up. So that's like I've been dealing with like, oh, and I also got a deep vein thrombosis, so DVT, which is a blood clot in one of your major arteries, in my lower
Holy
leg, which
shit, man. That's
yeah,
bad.
it's real bad, man. So I've been on these blood thinners pretty much the whole time since the injury as well, because the injury gave me the DVT. So I've been like battling to get all these videos going on, which has been chaos. I've also been battling with like, if this clot moves, I'm gonna die. And I just signed on to be a professional athlete with sponsors, and now I've hurt myself in a really serious way, which has upset a lot of people. And so it's been a really like, I'm laughing because it feels so ridiculous, but I've just been like getting through that like day by day over the last like month and a half.
Hey man, you're fucking doing a lot of shit though. That's good.
Busy man, Freddie.
Yeah, but I
I
guess
don't got time for
you can't do everything, huh? You know?
DVTs.
That
The
might just be a
universe does the
sign right
same,
there,
man.
man. Like you gotta focus on one or two things, man. Can't do everything.
hmm Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I've decided I have to quit skateboarding and BMX for like the next year and a half. I have to find some new hobbies because like I'm a very active person. I find it hard to like sit still for a long amount of time, which is why like after a workout I go do these things. But now I need to find activities that are like that I enjoy that aren't physically active, so I don't hurt myself while I'm training to be a professional athlete. Because the worst thing for me to happen would be to invest $10,000 over the next 6 months training and then hurt myself doing something stupid like skateboarding, and I have to like start again or throw all that money away. Um, but yeah, that's the two focuses have been business and fitness at the moment.
How about spirituality, dog?
Man, I've been you know what, I actually think spirituality can be linked to sex quite well. Um, and there's a lot of things to be said for that. So like I've oh, by the way, so I've got a new girlfriend now, completely unexpected, and like what I've been learning with her in terms of really helped me connect like with my own spirituality in order to have like better sex. I don't know if that's a weird concept to you guys or not, but um
Kama Sutra, baby.
yeah, it's a very interesting thing in terms of like I don't know, breaking down. um I don't know, it's like it's kind of weird. It's like taking the idea, like the philosophical concept that we're all one, and then having the like physical manifestation of that in like when you're having sex with someone, it's like two becoming one, and like just being in the moment with the person while you're doing that. That's been a like, interesting experience.
Hmm. So
You
tell me
never
more
had that
about this.
before?
Man, I've never came before. This is
Yeah.
new experience for me.
No,
Uh,
but I mean,
yeah, man.
um,
It's interesting that you say that though, because that one physical act can be completely different depending on your mental view or spiritual view on it. It can make it something completely unrepresentative of what it ever was before, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. So in the Voice of the Body book, it talks is a couple of chapters on sexuality, and it kind of talks about the ideas that like when you're having sex with someone like properly, I guess like you're losing yourself in the person. But in order to lose yourself in the person, you have to have a strong sense of self to start with. So people that really fucking shit in bed, like a lot of it is because they don't have like a strong sense of self, so they can't lose their self in someone else because they don't have someone to lose. They're too busy looking around at other people, going like, "Who am I? Like, what am I doing?" Um, that they're already trying to lose themselves in the universe, and the environment is trying to tell them what they are. So it's only by having a strong sense of who you are can you effectively like be with a person in that way, in a way that's like satisfying for both of you.
Powerful, man.
so
It's pretty interesting, man. Yeah, I don't know that much about that, but I think it's true. I notice people who tend to be like kind of, yeah, I guess more that way, unsure of themselves, are definitely more like that. And like, I don't know, man, I don't have that much experience, but from my experience, man, a lot of the the Latin women or from like South America or this or that I've been with, they generally have a pretty strong identity, whether it's good or bad, but the culture is just that way, and all the ones that I've been with are the most like that when it actually comes to having sex, where it's just like complete, you know, I guess loss of control or losing yourself. And it was like, I was like, whoa, man, I like this a lot better. But also in real life, those women really have strong personalities uh, as well, man. So I don't know if that's just necessarily correlated or just a cultural thing, but yeah, it's a different experience when you do that, man. And I think also a lot of it depends on the chemistry too. Some people it just ain't meant to happen that way. It's just not.
Mm.
Yeah. But I think,
One
with the
person's losing
whole,
themselves and the other person's like, I don't like this shit, man. What the fuck you doing?
Get up.
One person's going all crazy, the other one's like, oh fuck, what the fuck is this, man? It's called rape.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's bad.
It's just bad for you.
Yeah, so I got an interesting quote from the book I just brought up. In terms of like back to like that sense of self, and having a strong sense of self, like for a male, he says like these attributes may be expressed in three words: security, independence, and pride. And the individual who possesses these attributes would necessarily have a strong and well-developed ego, and his ego structure would be parallel and reflect his strong sexual feelings. So like the idea behind that is, if you do have like a strong sense of self should be built on, a sense of security, a sense of being like your own agent in the world and being proud of what you're doing and proud of how you're going about life. And if you feel like if you have those feelings about life, then you're also going to have like it's I don't know, necessary for you to then be having those like strong sexual feelings in yourself and for others in the world as well. But if that's not well developed, then you have like a low sex drive because like you don't even know who you are, let alone like trying to like impregnate someone else.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Lesson, life lesson number one. You want to impregnate someone, man, figure out who you are first.
Yeah.
But like,
that's funny,
I
man.
can't have a
I
baby.
thought,
Well, maybe it's because you need to figure out your own shit first, man.
I don't know, man. It sounds a little weird to me because everybody I know, or maybe it's just the way I'm thinking, but dog, I'm always fucking horned up. Everybody I know is always horned the fuck up. They're losers, no matter what they are, man.
I think
It's because
there's other factors too, though, man. Like, I mean, testosterone. It's like a lot of that's chemical, man. But I think it's also like what Alex was saying, the quality of the sex of like, losing yourself in there and being connected to be able to fully present yourself in that environment. I think a lot of that just comes down to knowing who you are and being comfortable with that. Everyone who's got balls or some ovaries is gonna have a sex drive, especially at a young
But
age. But,
but
being more connected with who you are makes you more comfortable with that and expressing it.
yeah, but also I think for just having this kind of a relationship experience, little I have, it's like I think it's also something you grow into. Like I remember the first time I had sex with my girlfriend. It was good. I liked it, but it wasn't as good as it is now. It's like something that keeps evolving. You get to know each other better. You kind of start loving each other and all that stuff. More emotions come into the pictures, and for both parties, And I don't know, but it's like something you work on together. I think. I don't think if you have great sex with someone the first time, if you fucking build on that, it's probably gonna be tremendous, though, because yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
Or maybe you just never live up to that first one, man. And you spend the rest of the years trying to, fuck, man, it just never was good as that first time. What happened? What's wrong, man? I'm seeing a therapist. Why can't we do it like when we first did it?
Yeah, maybe that too, dog.
Yeah, man.
But I wonder, if it's like Alex, you were in a long relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of it, how many years? How many years?
It was 7 years, man.
At the seventh year, how was the sex, man?
Dude, it was fucking awesome. Like, it was just like, I don't know, you just both know each other so well and what you like and don't like, and I don't know, I think it's inevitable that you just get more adventurous as like time goes on and you're just with each other, like to like, you want to explore more and deeper and more everything. So like, yeah, by the end of it, it was just
You
fucking
fucking eating
tremendous,
that,
dog.
eating that
Tremendous,
fucking
dog.
at, at at fucking at year seven,
Tremendous.
you're eating that fucking muffler while standing on your head, dog.
That's the dream, Freddie.
I don't know, man. That might be year 9, man. Didn't quite make it there.
Oh fuck.
All
Yeah,
right, cool guys. I'm gonna have to go, but it's great
Good.
catching up with you too.
Definitely, Alex.
absolutely,
Good
Alex.
luck in your meeting, man.
Cheers,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be fine.
Thanks,
Thanks.
man. I'll keep
Peace
you
out,
guys in
Alex.
the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll catch up soon.
Sounds good, man. All right, see ya.
Peace out.
Boom,
That's
bitch.
Alex. Oh, we keep going with this?
What do you got to say, man?
Oh, I don't know, dog. Uh, oh, you're still drinking that tea, huh? How hot is that?
That ain't too hot no more.
Still good though, right?
You know it, Doug.
What's been going on, my brother?
Since yesterday, man, not that much, Doug. I ended up taking like 6 shits last night, man. My ass is turning into a fucking fire hose. So it's interesting, man. As I go along this cleanse, man, you see, it's like all these stages happening, man. And then like even this morning, I was way more tired than usual and feeling kind of weird. And then last night I was shitting like a lot, man, like fucking out the kazoo. And then like then I was then I'm been feeling good now after I ate. So it's like my body's going through this whole process of fucking cleaning itself and fucking making it better, through getting out the bad stuff and replacing with the good stuff. But it's a fucking experience, man. It's definitely
Eh,
one of those things, man, where it does take a little bit of like a little maybe more than a little bit, a lot of commitment and willpower because even like my parents, whatever, are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Why don't you eat some
yeah, but
food? You want to eat, you want to do this, and it's just like, the normal is against that, man, but it takes some shit to get through with it, man, which I think is poem, man. I know for me, I need that shit, man. I need to have a challenge in my life, always, man. I'm just that type of person, man. I can be chill for a little bit, man, but I need to have something that just pushes me to feel, I don't know, man. I just need that, man. So I think this is a good one for me right now, man. Just fucking pushing a little bit to the limit, man. It's been hot over here, man, and I usually been doing yoga in the morning, but this time I did it in the afternoon in my garage. I don't even need to go to that hot yoga shit, dog. I got it in my garage. It's like
I
fucking
believe
40 fucking degrees in there, man. Sweating like a goddamn chimpanzee.
powerful, brother. And it's funny, man. I'm the same way. Or I always, for some reason, man, I always want to have something to put my mind on, like focus on, like for I don't know why, but I don't think I used to be this way, but now I always want to kind of improve something, you know? And and also I'm aware of, accepting things the way they are and trying to be as happy as possible, but I think it might be, and wanting to improve is like human nature, but something I was thinking about the other day, man, was this. Like, I don't even know, man, but I've been thinking a lot. I love pretty much old people, man, and I'm pretty good at seeing, or I've been getting better at seeing the positive in every person I meet.
Yo, Freddie, I gotta take a piss so bad, man. If you wanna just hold up for 30 seconds, Doug.
Okay, man. So, you guys listening right now, uh, I want you guys, man, to fucking send us some messages. Hit us up on the Facebook, Gmail. I think it's fnrawuncut@gmail.com. Hit us up with some questions. Hit us up with some guests you want to have on. If you want to be on yourself, ask. Let us know what you can, bring to the table, kind of what you want to talk about with us, and yeah, man, start spreading this shit because I think if we keep going on with the podcast and all, I think Nick and I are willing to, grow and learn as much as possible, and that's what we intend to do with this shit, grow and learn and trying to put the pieces together for you guys and ourselves on how to live your life the best way possible, you know. So yeah, keep sharing this shit. Make sure good stuff is happening, and we'll promise to deliver some fucking science to you guys. Just letting the listeners know they gotta share this shit. They gotta feed us some comments. They gotta give us some fucking love, some likes, and all that shit.
You know. But
Yeah.
what were you saying, Doug? I fucking feel way better now. Been holding that shit for too long.
Oh, I hate that feeling, man. Um. Yeah, I don't know. So what I was thinking the other day, it's not a belief I have. It's just a thought that came to my mind. So I've been thinking a lot about, humanity and loving it all and loving every person as they are, man. But one question, do they all fucking deserve it? You know? Some people are bad. Some people are fucked up. I don't know, man. Should we love all of humanity or just the ones that kind of deserve to be loved? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think it depends on yourself and your view, man. I think it's not about loving everybody, but it's about figuring out a situation for you that'll allow you to give out the most love, And if doing that to bad people doesn't fit with you, then it's probably gonna affect doing it to other people, man. But I really think that, uh, you know, I don't know, man. But what's really the way to fix a bad person, man? Kill him? So it's
I
kind of
don't know.
like there's two sides to it. There's someone who's fucked up or bad or a murder or whatever. And it's like, okay, option A, you could just put him in a cage or get rid of him. But how do you actually make someone like that better? I think it is love.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think that, fuck, dog, I don't know the goddamn answer. But I think that at each stage, man, you got to know what's best for you, and you don't have to fucking go hang out with goddamn murderers and love them right now. There's no fucking point to do that, man. But I think in the bigger picture, yeah, you probably should love everybody, but it doesn't mean you have to fucking do it every minute of the day.
It doesn't have to invite it to your life, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah, simple or stupid thought, I guess. So yeah, man. I think maybe we should wrap this up, man, because it's kind of late over here.
I got you, dog.
Okay, man. Well, I hope you guys. We'll wrap it up with this, man. I hope you guys fucking got something out of it. I hope you guys are trying to focus on your health. If you want to live a long life, maybe you want to fucking snort coke and drink booze and fucking bang hookers for 10 years and then go out with a bang. You know what, man? That's your dream. You probably fucked up. It's up to you, dog. Free will. Any last words,
That's it,
motherfucker?
dog. I think that was a good ending.
Peace the fuck out.
There we go, man.